God, and the bell tolls as soon as you show up. Literally, like you come on the screen, dong.
I'm always on time, Rick. You should know that. Um, Even though I did delay this by what 35 minutes or so.
Yeah, you told me like 8 minutes.
Well, there was 8 minutes game time. Then I had to watch celebration.
No,
Georgetown wins. I'm so excited. I'm happy. My favorite NBA player, bar none, my guy growing up, Patrick Ewing, wins, baby. He wins. He takes it. He brings the eighth Big East championship in school history, the most in the Big East championship tournament since its inception. Back to Georgetown. Boy, am I paranoid. I'm very excited. You know, if I would have bet on this, I would have won because I mean, I had. Okay, we won't even talk about. We won't get into my vices, right?
we won't get
I'm
fine.
so I'm so happy though. I'm so thrilled for.
You and me both.
Why are you so happy, Rick? Let's talk about why you're so happy.
I
Because
don't want to talk about it.
I think you should. It's good news out there in the airways because there's not a lot of good news nowadays. You know, is that for some people, the Colonel and the Mad Dog. You know that sounds pretty good. What's up, though, my partner, El Compadre, the Colonel. Why did he call you the Colonel, Rick? What happened? Is there?
Because officially today I'm a colonel. I'm commissioned as a colonel. Oh, by the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear.
You've heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. The new Colonel of Kentucky, the main, probably like the second most well known, besides our other Colonel. Very happy for you. What
Thank
does
you.
this title entail for you? What are your duties, acting duties, Colonel? What does this mean for Honorable Rick, the Colonel?
That I'm a colonel.
Well, yeah,
I am basically I'm styled as like the bad boy there. He said the colonel. Yeah, I like. But
the bad
when you
boy.
address
Yeah,
me now officially, it's an honorary thing. But
yeah,
I'm commissioned a Kentucky colonel, so I go by colonel, and then honoraries in front of my name. Basically, all it is like I don't even know who nominated me. Like you have to be nominated by a colonel to the governor, and I really don't know who done it. I don't know why, but it's for charitable deeds and things. It could have been things that I'd done when I was on city council. That's the only thing I can
yeah,
go back on because when I was on city council, I never kept my check. I always donated it to the local charities around here. Like the main one that I did was the River City Harvest that helped. It's a food bank. I
yeah.
always gave them my money from sitting on council. I never kept it. And I gave it to the War Memorial. I gave it to like one of them I did, and it could be from that too. I don't know. A kid was okay. His dad tried to start a hot dog stand, and the reason why he was doing a hot dog stand and wanted to set up in the city was because his son. I don't remember the disease, but he had a very rare disease, and there's only like 100 people in the world that have it. And it was
Oh,
an experiment.
yeah,
It was he was trying to make this hot dog stand to make money to be able to use that money to take his son to Brazil for this experimental treatment for it because that was the only country in the world doing it.
I remember you saying something about this. I did
And
know that you
and
mentioned.
then the mayor wouldn't allow it to happen when I was on city council, and I wouldn't have it. I thought that was this guy is sitting here trying to make money for his kid to take him, you know what I'm saying, to get to
Yeah,
heal him. And I so I pushed and argued like I was a rebel in city council. Like if there was ever a controversial government, it's the one that I sat on in my local town because we did so much controversial things,
yeah.
and I was the most radical and rebel one. I forced him to redo the zoning ordinance to allow that hot dog stand, and then not only that, it took so long. that I took my check that I got from serving as a city councilman. I took it, and at the same time as helping River City Harvest for the food bank, I got with the food bank, and I got with the city of Raceland, because city of Raceland, our next door neighbor, was throwing this big thing for him, so to make money to get him down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got with them. A neighboring city. Now think about this: a neighboring city comes. Here comes a city councilman from a neighboring city, sitting here going, "All right, for every hot dog you sell, I'm buying. I bought 200 and whatever it was. It was like I took my check and I gave him all that check, and I bought all those hot dogs. Right. So automatically he made money from it. I bought
Right.
all those hot dogs, and I gave the hot dogs out to people that brought in food for the food bank at the same time. So it was hitting two people at the same time. And
Yeah.
that could be it. That could be the reason why I got it. But that was God. I left. I served 2 years. It was 2012 to 2014. So that was like what, 7 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, 7 years. We'll say that from the 14 departure. But it's awesome, man, and it shows what a true gentleman you are, also, because I do remember you telling the story. I think about the kid going to Brazil. I remember that, but we haven't talked about it in a while.
Unfortunately, they never were able to do
Right.
it. But it was Zay Zay's hot dogs. That's what it was. And the thing was, man, like no one was helping him, man. They wouldn't even. They just shunned him. It was. I just couldn't believe it. Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna. I mean, like, I know it's against city code right now, city ordinance, but we live in Flatwoods, Kentucky. Okay, a small town, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna let this guy set up his homemade hot dog stand, which didn't look bad, Justin. It didn't look bad at all,
Right.
to make money to send his kid for to get treated down in Brazil. They wouldn't do it.
Plus, all things considering, I'm sure the guy had another job, and his wife, they were probably busy, so it was very quickly done. Trying to think of something. We got to think of. So I would
Very
firstly,
low. They were very low income too, and that's the
right,
thing. Thank you, Brandon, very much,
for
and
one.
Justin.
I am not a colonel, Brandon. There you go, bad boy. There is the Studley one himself.
But that's what pissed me off back then. It's like these people were trying to help their kid, and like you're not even like willing just to. I know we can't break rules or nothing, but by God, just let them set up. What the hell's wrong with that? You know, I
Well,
had to go. Literally, I took a 6-month process of changing the zoning ordinance. So much so, okay, that there's two things to this story other than what I just told. So much so that now that after I was voted out, I was only voted out by like 3% of the vote, but it's fine. You know, I ran again and I lost only by what was it, like 60 votes or something like that. But
yeah.
I won by 75%. But anyway,
Hey, that's what matters. The
but I
win.
told you I caused a lot of controversy on there. Like I questioned a lot of shit, and I stuck up. I mean, I live in the back, like a bedroom community, man. Like everyone's just older. It's an older community. They didn't like the young rebel, but at the same time, they were doing some shady shit, and I called them out for it. But and I changed a lot of stuff, and so much so that they appointed me, the mayor did back in 2017, to the Board of Adjustments, which is the zoning. So the only reason why I'm pretty much on that is because of my work that I did for them. You see what I'm saying? Trying to
for
get him
for the hot dog stand, correct? For the trying to
there
get
for
hot
that
dog stand.
kid.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that really. You're
Thank you,
telling me. Hey, speaking of shady dealings, there's a shady one right there. But you're telling me there are actual like arguments and backdoor handshakes and
there really is, even
and
on a local level.
in politics? Are you kidding?
Well, I mean, come on, don't act like that. But on a local
I know.
level, I never thought.
Well, I
The
honestly
thought is
wouldn't
right here
either
that I
for a
never
small town.
fathomed. How about that? That there's so much backdoor, good old boy systems, like in local government. Like I never thought. I knew that was up in the national. We all know that.
Yeah,
Up on the federal level, we all know that. We know there is probably some on the state, but I
right.
never thought it was that bad on a local level ever until I ran. And I'll be honest with you, I ran one more time after that. I won the primary by 5 votes, believe it or not. And then I lost the general election by 60. It was a close race, but Buford, the guy that beat me, I'm good friends with him. So we had a clean campaign. Like, we
Yeah.
agreed on everything. Like, me and Buford agreed, like, you would never seen a race before about it before. Like, we agreed on everything. We were not really opponents. And still, like, we still work together now. You know what I'm saying? If I need something, or like if I have something to say, I'll call Buford. Buford will be like, okay. And if he really wants to talk to me, he'll call me and ask me things. Buford's a
Yeah.
good guy. So,
But
and
see,
he so much so
that
he was
never
going around
happens
telling
in
people,
politics, by the
yeah.
way. You agree with most things at least. Like, that never happens. Even if you do agree, they're like, the colonel. What
And
is
I
he
told him, I
really
said, I
good
want
for?
this race. I met him because we were running against each other. The girl, that woman that beat me, we both ran for that primary seat after this. So I was running for, going to try to beat her because she beat me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then me and him both came out the top two in the primary. So she was out from the beginning. And we both met, and I won by 5 votes. 5 votes of that primary, I came up to the top. So we knew then that come the general election, it was going to be close. And I flat out told, me and him met before that, and I'm like, listen, like, I want this to be different. I don't want to come after you for nothing. I want this because we both agree. We're both friends. He's like, I totally agree. We both agree on everything. Because so we're just going to do this together, and that's what we did. And we let the people decide, and they picked him, and that's fine. I'm happy with that choice. I'm glad that he's in there serving, and you
Yeah.
don't hear that. You don't hear that at all. So.
No, that's what I was going to say. Nobody's ever glad to lose a position, but when you
See,
talk
he
about,
knows. He knows. He's an alderman. It's the same thing as councilman. He knows.
I was going to say, yeah, the alderman. I call him the panty dropper, if I'm allowed to call him that on this show, which I know I am. Hey, that happens here. I've heard of that. That happens here. I didn't know the kid, but the kid's dad was yes, sir, we did. The kid's dad was a cop before he was, and the cop was like a turn after he retired or whatever. He was a priest, so he was like a preacher. Sorry, I almost said priest 3 times there. And the kid would have to pull, you know, speed traps, unfortunately, but also, I mean, people drive reckless everywhere, whether it's age, whether it's, or that could be youth or elderly, whether it's drinking while driving, whether it's just being crazy, whether you're just in a rush. People get a little reckless sometimes. This kid would pull people over, and almost every time he would take people to jail. He finally got to the point he was taking people to jail because they were like, oh, I know your dad, blah blah blah, this and that, and it's like, oh, it's a cool thing, but it was everybody. It did it get it. It's
I
like,
know
this
someone like
isn't
that.
Mayberry, yeah. And Pikachu. So that guy kind of came off. I was like, man, he's a real dick. He's taking everybody to jail. But I don't know. So it's kind of funny hearing that. I would never think of a local level like someone. For example, I had my guidance counselor when I was in like middle school. She would have to fix everyone's scheduling up for the next phase of class, like not a semester, but the next 9 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
She was what are they called? She was a delegate. She was a House of Delegate member. And
That's what in West Virginia. And here we have
yeah,
West Virginia. We're going.
yeah. We have the house. Is it West Virginia and Ohio maybe that have, or Maryland?
I don't know, but I like that a whole lot better. It's more distinct. It's a House of Delegates. You know, it's like,
Yeah, she was a House of Delegate member, and I always remember I was she was nice, so I'm like, oh, okay, but she was a politician up until I guess she finally quit a few years ago, but she became something else after the delegate run and all that. But I always wonder, like, what kind of backdoor, not with her, but I'm saying, like, you actually know these people. Like, if you get to thinking, oh, I know this guy, Greg, he's the magistrate or something. I know Sally, who is, over zoning or whatever you just mentioned. You wonder how many, like, how much BS that they really put up with on a
there's a
actual,
lot.
yeah, from the average local person, yeah, or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean,
I
you've
know
been
what you
there, you've
mean.
sat in that chair.
And then you can never make people happy. And
Yeah,
please don't get me
well,
wrong,
that's
but
common. That's common though. Like, if you have 10 people and you're telling your true opinion or whatever, you're gonna piss 7 off. One's
Yeah,
gonna fight you. The other one's gonna love you. That's
yeah,
just how it's
that's
gonna
true.
go. And
And honestly, like, I don't know, man. Like, I know I'll never run again. I don't want to, and it's just because of all that bureaucracy and bullshit. I hate to say it, but it's the honest God truth. I truly want to help. I love my town. I love my town, and
yeah,
obviously
no,
now
for
that I'm
sure.
a colonel, that I obviously love my community. I love it, but I refuse. Now tonight, I mean not tonight, but now, we have a new mayor, and Ron is a great guy. I like her. He was actually on city council with me when we both won at the same time. We served on city council together, and
Mm.
then immediately he ran and won mayor, and he sat right next to me the whole time. So it's like when we're in discussions or something, I always got his opinion. He always got my opinion. It's one of those type things. You know what I'm saying? Ron
Yeah,
is a great guy. I really like him for here. Like I get along with everybody. There's a Ray still on there. He's great. I know this is like local stuff no one knows, but
no, yeah, just
it's
people.
different now than what it was when I was in. But the police department does hate me because I did we fired the police chief. There was all kinds of stuff we had to. It was in court. I was getting sued for that too. I had to go to the grand jury over that.
No, that
But
have I have a friend. He actually owns a gun store, and he's an actual licensed gun salesman, whatever, or for like hunting rifles, pistols, things like that. Very small shop. It's a shed basically that he's turned into a gun store or shack, whatever. Very clean,
it
very nice.
does. You almost won. You lost by one vote. Shame on that wife. Shame, shame, shame.
That's very Game of Thrones of you to say.
But that's still, my man, like that. I would divorce her. That's just me. that's,
Again,
that's
you
just me.
are twice divorced, though, correct? You're
But here's the thing: I don't think my wife at the time when I was running, I don't even think she voted for me. So,
did she wait? Did she just not vote or not vote for you?
oh no, I took her. I made sure. See, Brandon, this is where
Oh,
we differ. I made her go vote, but I don't think she voted for me. I made
no,
her go.
I could see that happening. I've wondered about that also. If someone say, okay, ex-wives especially, they're like, I know that little SOB behind closed doors. He doesn't need to be running anything
Yes.
for his life behind my Ford F-150 or something like that. It's like, whoa, calm down, Brenda, or whatever. No, seriously. Yeah, I was using this. I was using actual people. I don't know these people great. Like there's people. It's always ever changing. It's an ever changing process. But I was using some people's names too earlier, like Greg, Sally. He was actually like the magistrate. But I was going to ask you something.
Before you go on, let me say this before I go on. You can keep thinking when I say it. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Uh, Another thing about the Kentucky Colonels that we learned, and I just kind of learned, is Steve Bashir, the governor we have now's dad. Okay,
okay.
Andy Bashir's
Andy
dad.
is governor, right? Okay, yeah,
Andy is the governor. His dad was governor for so many years ago. I don't remember. It was just we had Steve Bashir, Matt Bevin, then Andy. So it was his dad, and then Matt, and then the
yeah,
son. But
yeah.
anyway, Steve done 100,000 commissions on Kentucky Colonel, and it's always been said that Kentucky Colonel there's a Colonel inflation. That's what they say because they just keep handing them out. Matt Bevin, what he did when he was in there, he made it actually harder to become a Kentucky Colonel. Like he put it in, like I was telling you on the phone earlier about the
Yeah,
charitable thing.
yeah,
He put those two together to be one. You have to qualify as charitable stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I
yeah.
had to join that one as soon as I got my certificate, my letter patent. And
Which for you that box is still checked. You're still good even with Matt. What's his name? Matt Bevin. Was that his name?
yeah, the one that who commissioned me was Andy, which is the one that's right
Right.
now.
Andy currently. But you said it was made a little more difficult because they were like I'll ask you, you don't even have to be a native Kentuckian,
You
right?
don't, no.
So
The heir to the throne of Italy, whatever his name was, he's one actually because they don't have the mark anymore, but he's one. Uh, who else? There's so many celebrities that are now, and it's crazy. But the whole point of the colonelship is it's you're representing Kentucky. You represent the goodwill of what Kentucky stands for and things like that. And you're always styled as honorable for life. That's always going to be there. The government is pretty much the government and the governor.
Yeah.
From now on, if you go to any function, like if I nominate him, you have to be nominated for a governor. Nominate for a colonel, right? So if I nominate Brandon for one down in Louisiana, right? That's where it's from.
Yeah. The panty dropper. Yeah.
No matter he's elected now, so he's still technically how styles go, he's really already the honorable Brandon Randall. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I remember you told me this earlier. Yeah.
He already is. So the difference is the honorable, it represents that you're elected. That's how you got it. You're an elected official, and he'll always be that, no matter what, even when he leaves, depending on how he left. Depending on how he left. Pull some Epstein stuff. Anyway,
I have to. I'm glad you said that really quick. Maybe I should take the panty dropper moniker away for a while. Because
you should.
I will call him the alderman. He's straight up the alderman unless he is promoing.
Right. Okay. But for me, I already had it. I already had the honorable. So, but now the difference is when you're given the colonelship, the is taken out, and you're forever known in front of your name as honorable. You'll always be honorable, no matter where you go. And then everyone's supposed to seriously, because you're commissioned on. It's an honest to God commission. It is an honorary position, but it's commissioned. So, is your title you address as colonel? That's why everyone calls Colonel Sanders Colonel Sanders. I mean, he wasn't even a colonel, so he was Kentucky.
Right. I didn't get to tell you this earlier. I did a prop week when I was in college. It was a health class. As you can see, I'm the embodiment of health and fitness. As you know, the Mad Dog. I drink a liter of spiced rum a day and down it with 17 hot dogs if possible. No, I'm kidding.
That's awesome. That's a great achievement. Go on.
I've never been able to do either. I could go a good 4 hot dog. I could do that if they're delicious. Maybe 5. But Joey Chestnut's an American icon for what he should be a colonel also for all the achievement. I'm not saying he's done as well as you, but he does have like 7 mustard belts or 8 mustard belts, something like that. Okay, sorry. I will continue with my point. The colonel, we talked about this. Then I got one other question I want to ask you. Colonel Sanders, I think you said he was in the military or whatever. I can't remember.
He was in the military, but
yeah, he wasn't, or he was.
He was,
but he wasn't like a big time. Like
he wasn't a colonel. He wasn't an officer or nothing.
See, and in the report I did, KFC was the fast food chain that I kind of got stuck with. Which that was fine. Of course I love KFC, but like some people were picking Subway and all this. So that's how I had learned. I had seen this colonel stuff. I knew he was not a colonel, obviously, in the military, like you had told me, but he would go around just frying chicken, kind of like would do like a or something nowadays. But he would sell his chicken and his what was it? Maybe his coleslaw recipe at first. I can't remember. I would have to go back and look. But that's how. And then he obviously became a colonel. KFC opened up many years later, and it was a very cool story. Just the colonel saying, I really enjoyed the guy.
Like, I've been to the first store where he started. It's down in Corbin. It's a really cool place.
Was that where Steve was talking about the other day?
Yeah, the first KFC is in Corbin, Kentucky. It's still there, and they're still operating. They actually have it's really cool. Like that's what we did our vacation at, and it was awesome. So
historical stuff, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, there is, and not only that, but speaking of KFC, I called my son. I think I already told you, but I haven't told the whole world.
This leads into my next question, so please go ahead.
So I called and told my son about it. And he's like, cool. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, whatever. He goes, so how we're going to celebrate pretty much? So we're celebrating Tuesday when I pick him up we're going to KFC and we're eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, celebrating my colonelship through Kentucky. It's a Kentucky way, right?
That's how you said we're going to lunch, right? And then he's like, is it KFC? Like he already knew. That's just
Yep, it's going to be KFC. We're doing it the Kentucky way.
that's quick witted Elijah for you. I got a question about the this is about Colonelship Studley, not SWA not SWA bygones or whatever the hell. I did want to ask you this. Your family lineage, we talked about this a little bit. The colonelship has been around for years. So do you have any other members in your family that own this? Because I know
I didn't really start this podcast to talk about all this stuff, but
no. I know.
I want everyone to know that, but
this is very cool, though. This is an extent. This is when I got to talk to you. I was the first to tell him FaceTime to FaceTime or whatever. Hello, Colonel. How are you?
You were. It was as soon as you answered the phone, I said, "Quick, address me as Colonel. Be the first one to call me Colonel. Be the first one." And he was like, "Hello, Colonel Lewis." I'm like, "Yes." And Shady, I think it was Studley. He goes, "So I can't call you boss man anymore," or something like that. I said, "Colonel will be fine." I said, "I'm just playing." And Shady, he knew immediately. He replied, he goes, "That's not true." Like you want him to call you Colonel.
Shady by now. They've learned since they've gotten here. But no,
thank you, Ralph.
The beautiful Ralph Swagger.
You're more welcome to come on, Ralph, if you want it.
Shooting the
thing, yeah. My great grandfather on my dad's side, apparently he's one. I didn't know that, but Dad told me that. And then I knew about my grandfather, my mom's dad. I actually have his commission. I have his commission certificate, and it was hanging on my wall forever. And I remember, I think I've told everybody that one day I really want one just to put up next to my, mine and him together. And now I have it now. And then my grandma, she posted today, because you join the ranks of your grandfather and your great grandfather, and it's like, yep. It's just something it's a really big deal to me. I don't want to cry. I'm not going to cry about it. It's silly.
But it's wonderful. It's very, very cool.
I'm very proud of that. Like, even being a Kentuckian and being honored as a Kentucky Colonel means a lot. So, I mean, like, that's one of the it's the highest honor that the state gives. And
yeah,
I don't know why I got it. I don't know who nominated me, but whoever you are, thank you very, very much. I'm very grateful and very humble about it, and thank you for real. That means a lot. It means the world to me.
I would love to say I was the one that nominated you, but it wasn't. Plus, don't they have to be only colonels can nominate? So it wasn't me, but I am waiting on my colonelship here in West Virginia, as we've already discussed. I gave to Charity one time, and she told me, "No, go back home." I wasn't.
Well, I did say this. I told my dad this, and I don't think I told you this. I told my dad, like, I said, "Dad, remember how I said Andy don't know what the hell he's doing? Andy Bashir,
Yeah."
And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, this is official. He really don't know what the hell he's doing, because he commissioned me a governor. I mean, commissioned me a colonel." And I said, "Not only, but he must know what's going on, because as soon as that happened, I immediately got on that website and I started buying everything. So they got all my money already. He knew I was going to spend my money."
He's not as silly as politics portray him, maybe.
So I got for the charitable organization, the Honorary Order of Kentucky Colonels. They have like a charity thing. Like, as soon as you become commissioned one, you don't have to. It's voluntary to join it. And I joined it, and I paid a one-time thing, however much I wanted, and I'm getting the. I donated. I don't care to say it. I donated $100 to it. And anyway, I donated $100 to that charity, which they take that money. What they do is, you can do a monthly, one-time thing or whatever. The charity itself, for the Kentucky Colonels, takes that money and they distribute it out everywhere. So they do a lot of things with it. They help for natural disasters. They help, they have something called the Honor Flight, where, like, these World War II veterans, or all these veterans that want to go see the memorials or go over to Normandy and do all that.
Yeah.
That they don't have. They take that money that we give them, the colonels. They take the money from the colonels and they pay for their tickets and they take them over there. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what that organization does. So I'm proud to be a part. Actually, now officially a part of that. So I paid my money for that, and I'm getting the medal of is it the Medal of Merit or something like that, Medal of Distinction or something, just because I gave so much money to be
Yeah.
able to do that. I mean that. So I did that. I'm gonna get me a hat that has a little, and I'll say Colonel. So next time we go to a wrestling show, I'm wearing the Kentucky Colonel
Please.
thing, and we'll say Colonel. I've got the license plate to put on my piece of shit car. I got the decal to put on my piece of shit car. I'm being all decked out in Colonel shit. I'm getting the coat. I'm getting all. Everyone's gonna call me Colonel. It's gonna be great.
As long as we get that KFC $20 fill up, I'm good. Colonel Boss Man, there you go. Well, that works, I guess.
You told me to keep it. Thank you. And his thing, I wanted people to know his thing. I was actually going to send him today, but I felt like shit today, man. Like I got the COVID shot.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, because I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because you said you feel a lot better.
No, Shady, I did not pay to be a colonel. No, no, that's not how it works. Not how it works.
That's how Shady becomes a colonel.
That's how Shady becomes a colonel. Hey, Shady, I'll nominate you for $2,000. Anyway, they'll remove my colonelship.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
No, Shady, it's a charity. There's a charity along with being a colonel. I donated to that charity, which takes it. They did like 3.9 million in charity donations, and they take like veterans over to like Normandy and things like that. Pay for their tickets, let them go see the memorial things, stuff like that. It's pretty cool stuff. So I didn't pay to be in it. I got the commission, and immediately I went and donated my money to it, so they can do those types of things. So it's a very, very cool thing. And apparently, though, I don't know if this is true. I'm still researching this before we go on to anything else, before I go on the COVID vaccine. I was told a long time ago that Kentucky Colonels get free tickets to the Kentucky Derby. I don't know if that's true.
I want to be a colonel now. Please let me be a colonel, or give me a ticket.
I will find out, because May's coming up, and I want to go.
Run for the roses, baby. That's the one thing for since probably 2010. I've told you about my fandom for
yes, that is the Shady way. Yes.
That has been a dream of mine. Churchill Downs.
Me too.
I passed by it once. When
I've been there.
My brother worked around the Ohio, Kentucky area. I think he was in Cincinnati and out of Cincinnati a few times, kind of between Kentucky, Louisville, and Cincinnati. I don't know where he would have been, but he was passing by the Yum Center, Churchill Downs, all that. And I remember I was like, "Call me when you pass by Churchill Downs," and I was like 27. So it's just something. I'm a huge horse race fan. It's Kentucky's bloodline to say not the bloodline, but when I think of horse racing, Kentucky is everything to that. So it's always been a dream of mine to go to the Derby, the Run for the Roses. When my grandmother was still with us a few years back, American Pharoah, I would call her yearly for the Kentucky Derby. And I can always say, because I mean, she was getting older. She was 94, so she lived a great life. But the first Kentucky Derby Triple Crown winner in 37 years I got to see, and I was talking to my grandma at the same time. So now my next goal is to go to one. So now I have to be a colonel. So nominate me. I will give $2 to the I have no idea what you're talking about. No, but it's that when I think of Kentucky, I think of that. I think of Churchill. I think of the awesomeness that is horse racing in general, being a horse race fan. Also, go to bloodhorse.com to get your daily racing news.
Yeah, so if I get to go to the Derby, that's one thing I'm gonna do that at least for my mom, because I know
Yeah.
my mom. That's what she always wanted. That's we always throw a Derby party. You know that. You see,
Yeah, yeah.
we always do. That's Kentucky. I love Kentucky. So anyway, I love the Commonwealth. I have to say that now. No, the COVID vaccine. I got the COVID vaccine Friday. I got the Johnson and Johnson, and I didn't even know they stuck me. I didn't. I was messaging. I was scared to death. You know it was. I was messaging our group chat, and I was freaking out. I was so scared. But at the same time, I felt like I didn't have a choice, only because I want to protect my mom and I want to protect my kids. So my mom refuses to get it. However, I knew though, if I got it, if I got the shot, I knew if I did, that it might lead the door into maybe she'll be open up to go do it. And my God,
it might work. Yeah,
because she's already saying I might do it. I might do it. But I wanted the Johnson and Johnson because Johnson and Johnson is the vaccine. I posted a link in my normal post on my Facebook page. People said the vaccine itself that Johnson and Johnson makes is already around. We already use it. It's putting in the virus, and the virus is changed. It's dead, and they messed it to where it won't grow and you won't do anything else. It's dead. Your body is fighting it off. But they also put in like a genetic code to make your immune system build the spike protein from the COVID, and that's they already do that with the Ebola. I can't say it right. Ebola, is that how you say it?
Ebola, yeah, the Ebola, E. coli, Ebola,
something like that.
The Ebola virus, yeah.
Yeah, they made that's how they made that vaccine for it, and I'm like, that's already around. These other two that's before it, it's a RNA or whatever messenger type thing. It's brand new shit, and I don't know if I'm too keen on that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's new stuff.
That's a great point. That's very. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's one reservation for a lot of people. They're like, it usually takes 5 or 10 good years to create a vaccine that's going to be legit and not kill people or make them deathly sick or do something to them. But I didn't know about the Johnson & Johnson already being around. So that's very...
The style of it. That style of it. So that's what I want. That's one shot. So I went in yesterday and I got the shot. Didn't even feel it. I say some Lord's Prayers, but it's not. I walked through now that I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. It's Psalm something. And I said that because I was so scared. I was messaging you on. I said it while they stuck me in the arm. I didn't even know they stuck me. I sat there for 15 minutes. I had to sit there for 15 minutes to make sure I didn't have a big reaction to it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't, thank God. And I left. And around 3 o'clock, I got it at 11:30. And around 3 o'clock, man, I started to get tired. I was tired already. And I come home from work. And then I was so tired though that I couldn't sleep last night. So like that, I watched Superstore all damn night because I couldn't sleep. That's a good show, by the way. It's hilarious.
What was the show? Sorry.
Superstore.
Oh yeah, I love. Well, it's been a while since I've seen it. I think I'd have to watch it on Hulu or something. But yeah, it's a great show. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but this morning I woke up and it felt like I had the flu. I wasn't stopped up. Just my whole body just felt. My arm felt like someone took a baseball bat to my arm.
Yeah.
But
which
now,
is kind of common though.
And I come home and I took about a 5-hour nap. I left work early, and I come home and I took a nap. I'm fine. Like I feel completely fine now. There's nothing really wrong with me.
And there's no second shot to that. You don't have to get a second one with the Johnson & Johnson.
With Johnson & Johnson. It is less effective than the what I said. Be careful how I say this. The other two ones, though, are like 97% effective. Like you won't catch it.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson is like 75 or 85%.
I was going to say, I think it's 85 point. It's close to 86 or something. I think
it's not like that.
If I'm not mistaken.
If you do catch it, and it covers all the variances with the virus, which is really good.
And not only that, but like it's 100% that you will not go to the hospital and you will not die if you do catch the coronavirus if you already have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So that's the one I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can still catch it. Don't get me wrong. But according to them, it's not going to be so bad. I'm not
going to affect your life. It's not going to.
I'm not going to die from it. I'm not going to go in the hospital. I'm totally good with that. It made me feel more comfortable seeing all this stuff to get the shot than anything.
Well, as you said, all my friends know pretty much. I get an allergy shot once a week. Essentially, what they're doing is shooting me up with stuff I'm allergic to, and like in smaller doses, I guess. And you can't feel those either. So it's pretty much like I'm getting a little prick there. Yeah. One little prick for one. But yeah, I'm up to I'm almost ready to take them at the house now. I've been doing it for over a year, and my allergies are better than they've ever been. They still sometimes don't get the best of me, but that's how vaccines work essentially. So that sounds that if I was going to take one from what you told me, even though it's a little less effective, I would roll with that one just because, like you said, I had no idea they were using that for the Ebola virus, which also was very, very, very rare. We were never supposed to get here in the U.S. And then in like 2017 or 2017, 2016, it comes. And there were only a couple handfuls of people that got it, I believe in the Texas area maybe. But luckily it didn't spread crazily.
No. So when I called and I asked, I was like, which vaccine am I getting? And they told me, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm totally good with the Johnson & Johnson. I feel more comfortable with it. It made me feel at ease about it. It really did.
Yeah. That's a good thing for other people, too, just having their options, you know. There he is, Mr. Swagger. What's up, baby?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Haven't been on definitely haven't been on in a while. And look at the corona there. Corona air. Corona. I mean, congratulations. I mean, like you said, I don't know how you did. You know who you impressed or nominated to get it, but hey, congratulations.
Thank you. Very, very.
I don't know who done it, but someone did it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's something I'll hold dear. I don't know where Justin went. I hope there he is.
Oh, there you go. Let's see here.
I love it. I mean, like, I'll go get it right now. Hold on.
What is up, Brother Ralph? Sorry, my phone was popping and cracking as soon as it always does that. It needs an update.
Yeah. Let's see here. Just got through, had a little long day at work, got to read, watching UFC. I mean, I go out and get my little cup out the car. Next thing I know, they saying no, the missus telling me the fight's over. I'm like, what the hell?
That's how the UFC.
Yeah, I see that. Honorable Richard Edward Lewis.
And then that's actually his signature and the Secretary of State. So.
What do you think he was doing when he signed that, Rick? Like, what was going through his head?
He was probably doing the Team Kentucky update. Probably.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. If Governor Abbott give me one, I'm gonna be shocked as hell. I'm like, who the fuck?
Ralph, you're very charitable. Come on, you're the next.
No, on me. I probably tell Governor Abbott, thank you. And when the hell you getting out of office?
That's funny because my mom, I told Justin, I'm already getting sued. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
And it literally came from the governor's office. So she come in here, and that's when I was taking my nap after I was feeling like shit after the shot, right? And she was like, "What did you do now? What did you do now?" And then I opened it up, and it's Kentucky Colonel. She goes, "Did you change your party to Democrat and give him money? Is that why you got it? Is that it?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, you were. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Very,
No,
very
I was
cool
saying.
stuff.
Well, I didn't know if you. I didn't know you were Republican, but then it don't matter.
I'm a libertarian.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
like on the social.
Oh,
Explain.
you wanted them.
I'm socially liberal and physically conservative.
That's a good way to put. That's how you put
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I know my son, when he went to vote, he voted for the Green Party, and like the first three ballots, it was somebody named Green on there, so he voted for Green. I just started laughing. Okay.
So my commission date, I just said, was the 3rd of March. That was the beginning of the month.
Give me the book.
I don't know what he was doing.
Oh.
He was hammered. You guys were opening back up the state. He had got what's the other vaccine? We have Moderna. We have the Johnson & Johnson. I forgot the other name.
Pfizer. Whatever.
Pfizer. Okay. Well, how can I forget Pfizer?
I did have something come in the mail for me today. I mean, it's not as prestigious as the Kentucky Colonel Award, but you know.
Oh, who is that? Jeff Perlman.
Jeff Perlman. Football, but basically it's about the USFL, United States Football League.
Yeah.
Trump fucked that up.
I was gonna say, if I'm not mistaken, Trump was a big part of the.
Yeah, he owned the New Jersey Generals, and then after a few years, the New Jersey Generals and the Houston Gamblers merged, which I'm like, why? But
yeah,
they ended up winning their Super Bowl, and then Trump was the main one sitting there pushing the envelope for them to go up against the NFL in the fall. Then they ended up suing the NFL for monopoly, which the NFL lost, but they only paid like what, $5, $7 settlement.
Oh, I have
so
no idea.
You can't run a league like that.
I have we got a couple stars from the USFL though, didn't we? Like, I don't want to say, was Jim Kelly in the USFL?
Yeah, because he didn't want to go to Buffalo.
Okay,
he did not want to go to Buffalo.
What's up, Tomcat?
So he ended up getting drafted by Buffalo, but he hurried up and signed with the Gamblers. He was in the USFL. Reggie White came from the USFL. Steve Young was drafted. He played for the USFL.
I did. The story about Marcus Dupree.
He played in the USFL. That was just that was a sad story, because I mean, I watched the 30 for 30 on that and I almost broke my TV. The people who was dealing with Dupree, they did him wrong. They did him dirty. That pissed me off so much. I was like, if I could have went through the TV and choked that motherfucker, I would have choked his ass.
Unfortunately, that happened. We have Sports Management Worldwide, which I'm going back to. Class was pushed back a little bit. It's a little delayed.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
But they are trying to make agents each and every day. That's the big thing. Trying to make sports agents, trying to help you. Now, yeah, college used to be a requirement. With LeBron James being a huge vocal leader in sports now, I believe Rich Paul. I believe it's Rich Paul. Does not. He has a degree, but he didn't at first. So they were saying this is a huge thing to me. I think eventually, being the sports agent, yes, you need the business class, you need the lingo, you need to know what the agreements are between the labor union, the sports union and the places. But unfortunately, these people get financial advisors that do not look out for them. So we're having a lot of people through SMWW that are taking the sports agent courses already, and where COVID's hit, they're actually talking to high school families it's practice more or less, but they're trying to talk to high schoolers about, maybe what would you call I guess 7-on-7 football. There's a ton of those out there where you can basically, I don't know the correct league or whatever the league name, but you can do, it's basically like AAU for football. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're, I think in the next probably 3 or 4 years, especially the way Corona has hit everything, sports are going to be big time. I see kids going to get paid. Kids are going to get paid from probably 15 on. And I just hope these financial advisors are actually looking out for their best interest, because not all of them are going to make as the Colonel does the Moose horns. Not all of them are going to go to the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it just that it was at one point that during the best that never was, it was every time Dupree needed some money, he had to go to that guy until where his mama had finally said, like, why do you have to go to him to get your money? And then it was it was messed up to where he couldn't even when his career was over in the USFL, he couldn't even go to the NFL.
Yeah.
They did some type of agreement where he couldn't go to the NFL. So by the time he gets to the NFL, he's already in his 30s. He's already, for running back, he's already, his life expectancy is already done.
And his knees were bad. And he had some pretty serious knee injuries, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Colonel, how would you fix things? I see your hand raised.
Oh, I was going to talk about something else, but what?
How would you?
Well, I know you. I know we came in and just started
you're good.
talking about
You're
that.
fine. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
What?
But what's the? I mean, I guess my thing. I need to ask you, Rick, because I know you don't. I know why you haven't been on in a while. What's the deal with you and Glenn? I mean, it's a story. It's a storyline.
Okay, so he hasn't been around. We just
I've been
live.
around, but it's like I'm in and out, and I know I'm sitting there like
Last
the less I
Sunday,
know, the better. But I don't know.
It was either Sunday or Saturday. It wasn't that long ago. We went live. That was all the work. It was all the work. That's all that was. Ain't nothing real. So I had you going. I had Shady going. We had everybody going. It was good. It was great. It was gravy. It was supposed to be in UWO. It was supposed to be me versus him eventually, and they weren't getting to it yet. So, but all that has it's so all over the place. We're just getting through what we can get through, get done with Cyber War games, and then move on, and we're going to do our own thing after that. So
yeah, because I know
you got a big title match that night. So
yeah, I know I got to be time. I mean, that part I know. That part I know.
I'm calling that match, Ralph. So
you can trust the Colonel. You can always trust the Colonel. Have faith in your Colonel. Okay.
I think come out with a system from Colonel's Cash or something like that. I don't know. That's for later on when the Colonel comes back to SWA full time, or whatever happens in the future with SWA. There's still some cool stuff going on.
All right, so this is what I wanted to talk about real quick before we go into anything, because Shady's on here before he leaves and goes somewhere else. What I'm actually sending Shady, I'm sending Shady something first. He's been waiting on it. I was going to do it today, but I'm going to go live tomorrow, and I'm going to do it then, but I'll go ahead and give you a pre-look, okay? So I'm taking this. We've talked about it many, many of times, and I'm finally going to do it. I'm sending it to Shady first so Shady can send it to everybody else, all right? So I'm taking this toy belt, okay? I'm going to sign it with a marker, a silver one, and I'm going to add something to it. I'm sending it then to Shady. Shady's going to sign it. He's going to add something, and then we're going to have a list, and it's going to go to like Ralph in Texas. Ralph is going to sign it. He's going to add something to it. Then he's going to send it. So it's the Traveling Championship toy one. Eventually, it's going to make its way back, and all of us are going to add something to this toy belt. See what I'm saying? No matter what it is, and it's the official traveling belt that we all had and wore and everything together.
Okay.
So I got to think of what I'm going to say. I got to try to predict what Ralph's going to say.
You got to put something on.
Do we put her name? We put her name and then like
you sign it somewhere and then you add something to it. Like I could hot glue a fucking like ace of diamonds on here or what, you know what I'm saying, or something.
Right.
Or you can draw a penis on it for all I give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. Don't say that. That's gonna be the dick. That'll be the championship of penis. That's what it'll be called from now on.
And then we'll give it to Thomas at the end of it.
Oh, what is it? Thomas is the last one to get it. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because you said championship of dicks, and then that's who we get it. Nothing big.
He would officially hold every title in SWA once he gets his grubby little hands on that one. Or grubby big hands. There is a pay-per-view tonight, by the way, Ralph. I don't know if you watch Impact a lot, but there's...
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is.
There's
and Moose and...
Okay, Shady says no penises. He didn't say anything about balls, though.
Moose and Swan going against each other. And, like, the winner out of that match, they're going to end up going up against Kenny Omega. Want to take off.
That'll happen at Impact's next pay-per-view, though, right?
Yeah.
Do you see Omega winning the holding Impact and AEW gold? That's my question.
Yeah, I see him winning because Don Callis is an asshole. I don't like him. I wish every time he talks, I want to punch him right in the fucking mouth.
Ralph, can I say something, and I don't know if it'll surprise you or you'll just smile or you'll hate him. Don Callis is one of my heroes.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, he just, he's an irritable ass bastard. You know?
He is. That's what I like about him. Nah, for real, I love, like, Don Callis wasn't someone that I grew up with or anything like that. When I think of people I like, it's not even wrestlers that I think of that I followed. It's been like Jim Ross. I love Jim Ross. Me and Rick.
Why is it Shady on here? Shady, get your ass on here. I sent you the damn link.
Go ahead.
But Jim Ross for me, and as of late, people knock on JR all the time on Twitter saying he's not doing this right, not doing that right. He's still having fun. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Ralph. Sorry.
No, that's true. I mean, he having fun. I mean, that's just how social media. Unfortunately, that's how social media is. I mean, you do things a certain way. Oh, you should do it this way. He ain't doing it like that. Man, look, do it the way you want.
Right.
Do how you how feel. You know.
It's not like the man hasn't done this for 40 years anyway, or whatever, 40 plus, however long he's been doing it. 30, 40, 35 years, whatever it is. And he deserves this time to go out there, have a good time, be surrounded by friends. After his wife passed, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get back in wrestling, and Rick just left. So I'm very happy for JR. But I don't know. So I like Callis on Impact.
I just have to pee. I'll be right back.
He's very hittable. He is irritating. He's very hittable. He's that guy you want to hit in the face. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it kind of remind me of that. Come on, man, stop the fight, ref. He getting his ass whooped. Hey, thank you. No, this guy just got his ass whooped in the first round, like heavyweight.
I wanted to watch tonight. I want to try to get into UFC after last week's card. There was the Jan Sterling fight. I thought was a good. Well, we seen how it ended. Obviously, Sterling.
I saw the pre-match, the pre-fight card. I saw the pre-fight. but I didn't see the main card. That I got ESPN Plus, but I'd be damned if I sit here and pay $69.99.
I agree. It's a little steep. I mean, if it was what is good, Shady in the hood.
Was up, Shady?
I did go to Buffalo. I did go to Buffalo Wild Wings, like I've been saying I was going to do, and I'm not going to do it again for a while. Just it's too many people still. I sat beside a guy that was vaccinated. I haven't been vaccinated, but it just still seemed a little unsafe. And I said, if I make it out of this alive, I'm good. I ain't coming back here for a good bit till everything's a little bit under control, or I can get, whatever happens to whatever.
I'll give you a vaccination, Mad Dog. Don't worry about it.
Are you
I'm vaccinated. I'm immune.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I mean, the way also Calisbury wears some red tinted glasses, you kind of remind me of James Spader as Red Reddington in the Blacklist.
Yeah,
I mean, that's Spader. Yeah, Callis. No, I mean, I just want to slap him. I mean,
Ralph on this one. I hate Don Callis. I can't stand his
I just want
voice.
to slap him. I mean,
Yeah.
I
think he's the new Eric Bischoff of wrestling.
Is it in the good way that you hate him so much that you like him?
No, seriously, he's the new Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, I barely see him. I mean, I'm barely seeing this guy, and I'm like, I don't like the motherfucker. I don't like him.
I love how Ralph.
At least when I grew up with watching Cornette, I saw him every week with his whiny ass, and my 14, 15-year-old self wanted to whoop I wanted to whoop Cornette's ass so bad. I mean, one time he talking about he lifted 200 pounds, 20 pounds, 10 times. I just wanted to beat the fuck. Shut the fuck up.
Another famous Kentuckian, Rick.
What?
Oh, sorry, Colonel. Do you think we could get the famous James E. Cornette a colonelship?
He probably already has one.
Can you? I don't know.
I mean, if you get Cornette on here, no telling what might happen.
I think you should nominate him. That way he comes to SWA, GWS, and Ralph gets to confront him from his age of 14 and gets to finally go one-on-one with the great one in James E. Cornette.
I need his address. I need all kinds of shit.
Okay.
And you'll need some money. Like, he ain't gonna do it for free.
You don't have to have no money. I just had to donate it because it's helping those fucking veterans. That's all. So fuck you, Shane. So fuck you, fuck you, Mad Dog.
I mean,
okay.
I mean, but that just how back then being young, like I said, 14, 15 years old, watching Mid-South wrestling, then he went to NWA with the Midnight Express. I mean. He with that tennis racket, I just wanted to I just wanted to grab that tennis racket and hit him upside the head one good time. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I still remember when I think Magnum TA wrestled Ric Flair on World Championship Wrestling, and he beat Flair, and the horseman jumped him. I'm running out the house. I'm running out the house crying. Fuck the horseman, man. What's up, man? What the hell? I'm storming past my grandmother, just cursing up a storm. Fuck them motherfuckers. Fuck them, man. I don't like you.
Did the young swagger get slapped upside the head by his mother that night?
No. I was looking that night, but I was mad. I really, like I said, I didn't go to a live wrestling show until like 1994.
Right.
So,
as the Colonel cooks his first dinner as Colonel of Kentucky, as the new.
Oh, and that's the thing about it. That's who I. That's The first show was WWF Raw's 100th show. They had a 100th show here in Houston. They had a Raw card. They had the Super Soldier Wrestling card. They had a regular card. I ain't leave that place down at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That was
They
the
wanted me
one
to take the ring. They want me to. They asked me to take the ring down. I'm like, man, take the ring down here. Y'all better give me the damn belt. Give me that belt out that tall motherfucker. What's his name? Diesel. Give me that damn belt.
Let me ask y'all a question about this. What do you guys think about? I feel like Vince McMahon is kind of starting to listen to the fans a little bit. I feel like we're going to get an Edge versus Daniel Bryan, maybe at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is going to be in that picture too, of course.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a triple threat match. But I think it'll end up being a good triple threat match. But I really think we're going to end up getting that match at WrestleMania.
I agree with you, but
it looks
I
like
agree with
it.
the statement, Shady, that Vince McMahon is listening to the fans. I think you're totally wrong on that, completely, in that statement in itself. But I could see that happening.
Vince does listen, he doesn't
Yeah.
listen to all of us, of course, because he can't give everybody what they want. But the fact that he would give Edge and Daniel Bryan a WrestleMania opportunity right now, knowing that it's possibly the last match, these two are going to go give it their all, no matter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I really feel like it's going to be one of the greatest matches possibly to ever go down.
When
can
you
see
say
that.
their last match, do you mean like, I don't think it's their last, but what?
No,
last
I hope it's
Mania
not.
match?
I'm just saying, like, I really think that both of them are going to really give it their all. And
okay. Treat it like a
knowing their
last
past
match.
injuries and stuff like that,
I see what you're
there's
saying.
a good possibility, that
Anything
one
can
might
happen.
give a little bit too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Sorry, I thought because Daniel, that's been a thing too. Daniel said, this is my last chance. I remember seeing that on.
Do you really think that? Okay, maybe that's just them being adults and being like, "Hey, we may not make it to next year's WrestleMania in the shape and condition that we're in right now," and they know that they're not going to be able to give it their 110%.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
They know if they don't do it now, it's not going to be as good as they would want it to be.
Now,
Right, that's true.
That triple threat, is it confirmed or?
No, I'm just saying.
Yet.
I really feel that that's what we're going to end up getting.
I was feeling the same way when I seen that promo by Brian. Go ahead, Ralph. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that at the Fastlane, that's what you're gonna see, because Edge is going to end up beating Jey Uso to be the special referee, and then that's when it's all gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I really think.
There's also, I don't know. Well, okay. It's kind of cool the way, I will say WWE's pretty cool about this. These triple threat WrestleMania matches. 30 was great. I enjoyed it. Undertaker had just lost, so you could only enjoy it from a certain at that time. But looking back on it, it was a great match. 20, right. We had Michaels, Triple H, and Benoit, and then at 10, a little different, but Owen and Brett fought, and then later on Brett fought Yokozuna. And Lex, and then Lex and Yoko had wrestled also. So I would, but at 30, it's like they intertwined 10 and 20 because Daniel had to wrestle his way in to beat Triple H, kind of like Brett. He had to beat. I don't know if he had to beat Owen, but he had a prior match, and then he wins it all at the granddaddy of them all. Even though we don't really say that much anymore. I think that would be awesome, Shady. I hope it happens. It would be.
Who would y'all pick to win in that triple threat though scenario? I mean, I know probably nobody's going to pick Roman Reigns, so I mean it would be between Edge and Daniel Bryan. But I mean, who do you give that win to?
Good question. I mean, I want, you would like to say Edge because, the comeback, from the neck surgery and then the torn bicep and everything. But, I mean,
Same
Daniel Bryan,
scenario for Daniel
Daniel
Bryan.
Bryan, Daniel Bryan's already, he ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He really don't.
Neither one of them do.
I would say Edge for the reason Ralph did, and I think the Colonel said Edge also when he was walking off earlier. You said Edge, right?
Yes.
See, we boom. But I think this could potentially be the best way to get Roman some more heel heat or hate. You could say heat, but this would be hate if he came through and just speared the bejesus out of Daniel Bryan or somebody getting ready to win the triple threat, and all of a sudden he wins and walks out champ again. That would be a way to get Roman some real heat.
Yeah, I kind of feel like knowing Vince McMahon, he'll give us that match.
Yeah.
With Daniel Bryan and Edge in the big main event at WrestleMania. But he'll probably still keep the title around Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
I don't know if I'd be mad at that though, because I don't.
It's satisfying. It's not satisfying anybody, but it's satisfying your Daniel Bryan fans and your Edge fans because you're not giving it to either one of them.
Yeah. And there's a lot of there's a lot of people that support Roman now more so than they ever have.
Well, a match like that would really help cement Roman Reigns too as one of the top dogs.
Plus,
as much as people hate on him, he is a good superstar. I mean,
he really
the man
is.
From a health standpoint, he's battled. I can't remember what it. I don't want to say cancer, but
lupus.
Lupus. He battled that and came back. For anybody that battles some kind of health issue like that and still comes back and competes at the level he competes at, man, that's saying a lot, man.
No, it was cancer. It was leukemia twice.
Yeah, leukemia. Yeah.
Yeah. So he came back from not only a cancer, but a rough.
And I'm sure that's something that he still struggles, with on a daily basis. I mean, that's not something that just, you can beat it, but it's still something that, is going to linger with you throughout time.
I agree. He did the same thing at Georgia Tech, if I'm not mistaken. He was a yellow jacket back in the day, shady.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not calling that out anybody. It's kind of like what Glenn is saying. Like he's going through some stuff right now after going, through the COVID stuff. Health battles, change a person.
They really,
and so to still come out in front of television screens, but times are changing. People are getting back. WrestleMania is coming back, so
people can go finally. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're right. Unfortunately, I had a neighbor. He was a friend also. He passed this week. I mean, we didn't hang out. He was in an accident a few years ago, about 3 years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. And he passed this week, unfortunately, from either a heart attack or not really sure. He just wasn't healthy after his incident. And I had told Rick about it some. So yeah, you're right. Things change and things happen, and unfortunately, sometimes we can't overcome it. So, and that speaks volumes to him as not only an athlete but a person. And,
to all three of those guys.
Yeah,
I mean, think about what Daniel Bryan's gone through. Think about what Edge has gone through. Think about what Roman's gone through. To have those three in a main event WrestleMania type match, I mean, that is, man. I mean, like not from a fan standpoint of either one of them, but from an athletic wrestling fan, from the sport of it, all like, damn, these guys are, they're giving inspiration to little kids in my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many adversity stories can you pile up, into one matchup like that? You know what I'm saying? But you've got to give something to all three of them.
Ralph, we was talking about Marcus Dupree earlier, and everything that had happened to him has kind of happened You know that I'm not comparing the two, obviously, because Marcus had to go back to like a regular 9 to 5 job, doing something.
Yeah.
After he was
Well,
Working
that
back.
9 to 5 job's probably tough.
Yeah, I mean, but he should have been so financially well took care of, and he had his money handled wrong and all that. If you've seen Ralph, I don't know, Ralph. It was a lot of Texas schools wanting him in Oklahoma too, right? He wanted,
Yeah, he did go to Oklahoma.
yeah,
Because he came out of like Philadelphia, Mississippi.
okay,
So
okay, maybe some misses, maybe Ole Miss. I wonder if they went after him. Your Houston Cougars. I wonder if they went after him.
nah, he wouldn't have came to he wouldn't have came to U of H. I mean, he was big
I
time.
heard,
It was
I heard Cougars. I'm here.
it was gonna be it was gonna be it was gonna be if anything Texas Texas A&M. I mean,
Right.
How's your
no,
But that we had just talked about that. Basically, you had to overcome a lot just and talking in the WWE sense. I would love to see, like, how they do those profile 60s or a day. I forget like they'll follow them for WrestleMania, like they did Rollins a few years ago. I would love to see that for all three of these guys. You made a great point, Shady, about all three guys. It's a great point. But my question is, who's going to go against Lashley? We got our triple threat. We got two. We get torn on who we want to win the triple threat, and we ain't got nobody to go against Lashley.
I know who we can send put up against Lashley. Diamond Dave.
Oh my God, I would love that. Lashley could choke him out, or what's that? What's that movie calls with Full Nelson?
Hurt Lock.
The Hurt Lock. Yeah, he could. I would love to see Diamond Dave in that Hurt Lock saying, "Johnny Young Buck, Johnny Young Buck, help!"
I mean, more likely it's gonna be damn it, Drew. It's gonna be Drew. It's gonna be McIntyre.
You think it's McIntyre?
Yeah, I mean,
That's fat.
who else is going to be? Like, who else is going to be? I mean,
That's who I would think. Him or Braun would be the only two I could think of, and he's beaten Braun already. So,
and it's gonna be Braun and Shane going at each other. Why? I don't know.
see, I haven't watched I haven't watched Raw a lot. I don't know what's going on fully, but I know, Lashley just. I wouldn't mind Morrison.
There's still plenty of time for Brock to come back.
That's true. I mean, which I watched Brock and
Brock was really adamant about if he comes back, he wants to be a face and push other superstars, which is kind of respectable, coming from Brock Lesnar, but he did say that. So
people dislike Brock and stuff, and I guess I get why. But the guy, I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he ever was with his size.
Thank you so much.
I think that Brock
yeah,
knows that the UFC fight between them will never happen. And if it ever did, I think Brock knows that he would win. So I think Brock wouldn't mind coming back and giving Lashley a big win in a wrestling ring.
No, I don't know. Bobby did good in Bellator, but to be fair to Brock too, he lost twice, and it was due to, I don't know if you could say due to diverticulitis, but it's hard.
You can
kill people, but Bobby Lashley was great in MMA also. I mean, so that would have been fun.
They're two different fighting styles, though. As big as Bobby Lashley is, Bobby Lashley was a ground guy. So.
Yeah. Brock did hate to get punched in the face, they said. I mean, it's been noted. I watched
Who don't?
I'm not a fan of it myself, but I mean, fighter spirit. Some of them will. I watched the fight. Who was it? I'm gonna have to ask a friend because there is a boxing match tonight. Juan Francisco Estrada versus Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez for the it's like 116-pound crown. It should be fun, but man, guys, some of those guys, they take a pummeling and keep going. I don't know how, but yeah, no, you're right. Brock versus Shane Carwin for that championship. That was on ESPN last night, and
Right.
Brock's eyes were all cut, and he tapped him out with a triangle choke, or not a basically it was some kind of arm triangle. I forget what Joe Rogan called it. It was a choke out. We'll put it that way. He tapped him, and it was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. I mean, one fight I'm looking one match I'm looking forward to, and I know it's gonna happen. I've been asking for it, and finally it's gonna happen. Jordan Devlin, Escobar.
Yeah.
For the undisputed NXT light heavyweight championship. I've been wanting Santos Escobar and Devlin to go at it. I mean, Devlin is finally coming back. I'm like, hell yeah.
I would love to say they would give Devlin the win because I think he deserves it, but I think Escobar is kind of hot right now, so I think that they would give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Legado they'll Phantasm they'll interfere, but I mean that's gonna be one hell of a match. That might be better than the match better than that'll be the best match out of NXT Takeover.
Now,
Do you think that they're going
not unless if Walter comes and him and Ciampa fight. Yeah.
Ciampa's one of my favorites, so I would have to go with Ciampa, unfortunately, but I know Walter would destroy him. Not destroy him, but beat him.
Do you think they're going to put the women's tag team titles on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair before their match at WrestleMania?
That's something me and Colonel's been talking about doing, making it mark as women's.
That's a history-making moment, man.
I mean, yeah, it is, but I mean, it's just the tag team division is just all the tag team divisions except for NXT are a joke.
I feel like I missed something. When did NXT get a women's tag team title?
This week or
this past week. This week show.
I don't think
I turned it on and like the what's her name? They had championship belts and then they lost them. I was like, okay, but
yeah, Dakota Kai and Gonzalez. I think
they showed them.
I think because I think they should have won when they went up against Shayna and Nia, but
right.
they got screwed out of it, and so Regal. So they was gonna do it anyway. They were gonna have the NXT tag team titles, but the titles when that made, they wouldn't finish up making them yet. So they came back this week, and saying gave Kai and Gonzalez the titles, which is okay, but damn, they didn't even keep it. They didn't keep it for 1 week.
Yeah,
it's cool to have that little surprise. I think the Colonel was froze. Maybe is he froze? I seen him.
No, I'm here.
What did you say you loved earlier?
I love that you're calling me the Colonel. It's kicking me off. I'm like jizzing all over the place right now. I appreciate it.
He's jizzing on it, man. Like he was wondering where I was, but I was sitting here amazed. I was like, "Damn, is this the Skull Report?" I was like, "So far, it's the Colonel's show."
I don't know. If I know Jim was going through stuff tonight. Something. I fell asleep for a good bit there, and woke up. And my Hoyas, I call them my Hoyas because Ewing has brought the Hoyas back, baby. Georgetown is going dancing. I'm loving it. That's why I made Colonel cancel for like it was supposed to be 8 minutes. It was 35 because I wanted to see Patrick Ewing celebrate, and it warmed my heart. He's my all-time favorite basketball player. History of the game. He's 7'2", and big men can coach, is what he said. So,
I mean, the first time I saw Patrick Ewing was that 1982 Final Four. Him, Georgetown. I never heard of Georgetown. Never heard of Patrick Ewing. Never heard of
John
Big
Thompson.
John Thompson. I never heard of them until that Final Four. I mean, U of H went there, but they lost to North Carolina.
Mhm.
Georgetown
We
did.
have an exclusive interview. We have to go over here and take a closer look, mate. Turtles. Just look at these giant fucking turtles.
You need one of the what's the name of that movie? Not Wanderlust.
I'm getting into taking pictures of like toy props and stuff with all the. I have so many toy figures of shit, man. It's like,
Well, that's
why
good.
not make money? You know.
I told my dad the other day, because I want to hear what Ralph has to say real quick in a second. But I said, Dad, look at these Funko Pops. And he looked at them. He said, "What are they?" And I said, "That people collect them." He said, "Why?" It was just hilarious. You had to see his reaction. And the funny part is,
it's shady money.
the funniest part is though, he went out. They're just now pulling in. They've been gone since noon. He went out with my mom and sister. They're pulling in at 10:30. So he's probably dead on his feet. But Ralph, about Georgetown, I gotta hear it because I love Ewing. I like John Thompson. You know, of course. I like John Thompson the third. He just wasn't getting it done. And I'm so thrilled. If they were going to hire anybody, I was glad it was Ewing, of course.
I even have a toy figure of you, Justin.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is me. That's me in my that's me in my nighttime attire. Why did we kick him off?
I'm trying. He's frozen on my end.
So Ralph, your first memory, I gotta hear it. Okay, UNC beat Houston real quick because I gotta hear it. Patrick Ewing is to me of what Colonel Sanders is to the Air Colonel. He's an icon.
Well, it was basically when Georgetown and North Carolina went up against each other for the national championship, man. I think Carolina scored the first 8. I think they scored 8 points, but they were all because Ewing blocked everyone, got caught for goaltending on the first 4 shots they did. He just John Thompson told him swat everything. Just go up there and swat it. I don't care if it's goaltending or not. Swat it. To set the tone.
Yeah.
Set the tone, so.
I remember here that I didn't know it was the first 8 points. But if you watch that team play tonight, I don't think you got to see it. Last night too, the bigs are back, and basketball's not really known. We have a lot of shooters now. We don't really have old perennial big men, and they were attacking the rim. He said, "Watch the rim" one time last night because that's one time they put it up close to him. They wound up scoring, but it was tough. The first shot was blocked by the Big East Player of the Year. He got blocked by Wabe, I believe is their guy's name. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to check and make sure. Dude's a 7-footer. He's got a plethora, and these guys this ain't even his best recruiting class. That's what I'm excited about. Anytime Pat's winning, he's a hell of a coach.
He got poked like hell now.
I'm so excited. Mac McClung ran to Texas Tech like a little. I'm not even going to say because my mama watches this show sometimes. But
my mama.
But I hate Mac McClung.
My mama said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's been a great day, though.
Yeah.
Have a colonel now. Patrick Ewing is back in the Big East Championship. He went in the Big East Championship. Georgetown is back in the tournament. See, I could care less about Georgetown if Pat's there, but when he's there, I'm excited.
Damn. Now, I mean, you just had to excuse me because I'm watching the main event on Fight Night, and this dude got poked. He got hit and he got poked in the eye real bad. They had to stop the fight.
Not good. Shady did that to me one night in a match, and he said I was GM scum, and he was gonna, or no, you said something about cum, or was it scum? I can't remember.
It might have been castration. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff Shady.
What is wrong with you all? The Colonel does not approve.
The Colonel does not approve. There you go. You need a gavel now more than ever. You know that, don't you?
I have one actually.
And
Time to bring out the order.
The Colonel does declare.
Oh, I wish I could do that voice, Shady. That was good.
that was good. That was good. That was
I say, boy.
Shady.
All right, guys. Well, we're going into an hour and a half, so I want to thank you all for coming on, just shooting the shit. So, not taking away from the actual show called "Shooting the Shit" with Piers Austin and all them guys.
He would let us use his namesake for this tonight. I'm sure. I guarantee it. This was a big night.
Shooting the scum.
Oh no! How could
I love you.
I know you do. I love you back, Shady.
If
I could go to the strip club,
we love each other.
With anybody from Georgia, if I could go to Magic City with anybody in the state of Georgia, it would be Shady. Money,
right on.
Me, you, and BG.
I'll show you how to have a good time.
Yeah,
I'll slang him dollars.
I would get kicked out within 6 minutes. I guarantee it. Did I tell you
No.
really quick? This is a funny story. I went to a gentleman's club when I was 18 years old. There were no gentlemen there. And I was a bit inebriated. I will say that. I was embarrassed of myself. I was 19. I think I was 19. I find a pack of cigarettes that is like currency to the Colonel up above me. He loves his cigarettes. But like I said, I'm doing all kinds of shenanigans. I'm a kid. All this. I picked the packet of cigarettes up and flick them at a stripper. Boom. Flick them. She's sitting down. You know how they'll come to you and they're like, "Hey, you want a Dan? You want a buy, sweetie?" And up on like door.
I only smoke cigarettes and weed, man, so I don't kill people.
Well, that's the good thing. That's what I was trying to tip her because I didn't have money. Damn. Here's a pack of Newport.
Well, I've already said that if y'all see me smoking and drinking, I'm really pissed off and I'm really finna kill somebody.
Right?
You know.
That's what I'm saying. There's very few things that keep people calm, and cigarettes and weed and drinking is one of those things. And which drinking leads to a lot more things, but smoking definitely calms the nerves long enough for you to forget what you're. Not necessarily forget, but damn.
Yeah, no, we've all been there, Shady. This is a perfect way to end the show. I will say, do not ever, at my finest Chris Tucker. Tip a stripper with a.
All right, guys, I'm gonna end it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and end it. Night, everybody.
Good night.
Peace.